Hello. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry it took so long. Um, it looks like I didn't configure the YouTube settings properly. So it took a while to check which configuration was wrong. I see. Yeah. Good. Thank you, Julie, for being here. I'm so happy. I mean, I followed a tutorial this morning. And then I thought it was going to be very smooth because I understood all the steps and everything. But yeah, now I see I didn't. But okay, we are here. And yeah, today we are painting the Quiraing. I don't know if it's pronounced like that. I'm sorry. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me how this one is pronounced, this mountain. Um, it's very beautiful. It's on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. And wow, it's awesome. I would really like to see it one day, like live in person. Have you been in Scotland, maybe? I follow on Instagram and Patreon Sarah Barnes Studio, and she lives in Scotland, and she showed so many beautiful photos from the Isle of Skye. It really makes me want to go. So, okay, enough chit chat. So, yes, here I was showing you the previous mountains I painted from the 100 mountain challenge so far. Please let me know if there's anything wrong, weird, like the quality or the voice. I would really appreciate it if you tell me. So yeah, let me know. Okay, we will try different things and see what works. Okay, so what else? Yes, I've just posted these photos to the community. If you're not in the community, I will leave a link in the description of the video. And yeah, I posted these two. These are the two first mountains I painted in the first week. And today we are painting the one that you see on the screen. This one. Everything is okay. Thank you, Julie. Perfect. So, okay. I wanted to start with a small um, pencil kind of a sketch. I have this big sketchbook I use for trying things out and learning and sketching, and you see, it's a bit messy. I remember this painting. This is for some magnolias I wanted to paint in spring. And then yeah, I like to start with some sketches of the mountain and maybe also take my color pencils before going into watercolors. So if you don't have color pencils, it's okay. You can just sketch it out and try with watercolors, but I really like to test a bit how I will sketch it and my colors as well. So normally I would use a pencil, but I will be using this fine liner so you can see it correctly because I think it will be too light if I paint on paper with this pencil. So let's draw just a few rectangles. It's okay if they are wonky. We will just try different compositions for our painting. I like to have several, so I'm not afraid of just having one square and then don't liking what I'm sketching. So I go full in and I do that. So I will start by making a bit of the rule of thirds. And I just do this because this is like a habit for me to start with this. And if you didn't read this composition tip, you can still check it out. I created a guide with composition tips. This is a very basic rule. A lot of people know about this. It's quite used in the artistic world. So, okay. So I'm just dividing my composition, my page, in thirds. So I divide vertically in thirds and horizontally as well. And this doesn't need to be really perfect. It's more or less to see where things will go. Okay, so for this painting, also let me know if I should do more zoom, maybe. Where is the zoom? Here, here. Here. Sorry, just one small second. Yeah, let's do it like this and you can see better what I'm doing. Yeah. So, the interesting thing about this photo is that you have clearly three planes, three different planes, okay? You have a very far away mountain on the left side, you can see. Um, it's this blue mountain that is on the left side, so around here. And then you have our mountain, the Quiraing, the one that is in the middle here. And then you have this first plane in which, yeah, I don't know what it is really. I think it's grass or either grass or rocks. Let me open the image bigger for me because I see it small like you. By the way, you have the link to all mountains and photos in the community, but I can share with you right now if you want the photo. Yes, I can share with you the link if you want to the photo. Yeah, I mean the first plane is really the continuation of the mountain and some grasses. Okay, so I would probably not take into consideration the continue of the mountain, like this part of the mountain that is in shadow, but we will try different sketches and see if we like them. Okay, so it's clear that the focal point of my painting is the mountain, okay? That's what I want to really um, highlight in the painting. So I'm going to do this with the red pencil. Let's try. I will put first my horizon line. This time I will not make the horizon line coincide with this rule, the horizontal division for the rule of thirds. Okay, let me do this maybe. Yeah, I think that will be much better for the light situation on the paper. It's so difficult to focus on painting when you are like checking 3 million things at the same time, the stream, the photo, etc. So, okay. Anyway, I will put this line, horizon line here. It will not be so straight, but yeah, we'll do it like this because I want more space here and to have as much space as I can for my main subject, and then some space for the clouds because I really love the dramatic clouds that we have here. Okay, so for me it's clear that the mountain starts something like that there, and then I will do here in this intersection the focal point of the painting. This will be the peak, let's say, the peak of the painting. And yeah, I don't need to fit the whole mountain into my paper because as you can see, doesn't fit. But that's fine too. We're just squeezing a bit what we see. And yeah, this part is going to be mainly grasses and flowers and yeah, whatever. We will see later how to fill in that info here. You can also remove that part, right? You don't need to add it. It's just that I want to have a bit of information about this and see what I can change. And then here for sure I will do them some of the clouds. And for that I take my sepia color a bit because I really like to see how, yeah, this is like the normal gray sky because it's quite gray. So the sky is gray itself anyway. And then these are like smaller clouds that we have here. Okay, so it's just to have an overview. Here is really zero fears here. Really, we are trying to have fun with the colors and with the different compositions. So don't worry. And now I'm trying to imagine how this green part will be. So this is quite green. This part is quite green. This part is quite green as well. But then here you can see there is a part where we have some ochres and brown colors. Anyway, I started the stream very directly because I was really late. But yeah, let me know. How are you doing? Are you painting along? Are you just watching? You plan to follow some of the mountains of the project? Or yeah, what are you up to? So yeah, I'm trying to not get very much into the details, but also I want to understand this part of the mountain because I think it's the most complex one. The part where we have all these edges and you see what I mean? This part of the mountain, it's a bit more complex. So I'm trying to really understand what's going on there. And I think I will not use anymore the red pencil. It's too much for my eyes. So yeah, as you can see in the middle, there is like a bit of rocky parts, yes, at the end. Is everything quite rocky here on this side, but the same, even if it's rocky, it has little like parts of grass, like lines, I would say. So now I'm just trying to understand a bit what happens there. So okay, this is one of the sketches, and then I want to make sure I make this pick a bit more up, as you can see in the photo. But yeah, all those things we will perform them in the final sketch. And then here on the first plane, I was thinking of using more of a muted tones, you know, like here I think the greens are quite vibrant. However, here they are in shades, so these colors are more muted greens. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this idea of having the grasses in front of us. So maybe we will just maybe we will not do it. And also it's important to convey this feeling of depth. Well, depth is not a feeling, but you know what I mean. Like when there is depth, you communicate that through the painting, and usually things that are on the first plane are more saturated and I would say a bit darker than the things that are in the second plane. So yes, that's important. Then here I would like to add kind of a blue mountain. No, like here, this you can see there are several mountains, but I will add this one, which is a bit more like square, and then this one. I mean, don't worry about the shapes. It's really about, okay, what's here and what happens there, and yeah. Okay, maybe we can go to the second square. This square. Let's try a different thing, okay? Instead of adding this first plane, let's just add this part of the mountain where, yeah, this is this part of the mountain, the part that is on, and then here we will have as well in this part. What I mean is that we will have here the grasses, then the part of the mountain that is close. Okay, these are the grasses. We will see now how we paint that, the part of the mountain that is close. Then let's do it again. Yeah, I still want my focal point to be here, so you can also start here and go down as we. What I mean is that you don't need to paint the mountain from here. You can start here, and where do you want to be the focal point, and then go from there. Also remember that, yeah, remember that we are on a different scale, so you can do things smaller than it look in the than they look in the picture. Okay, this is green steel, all this is mostly green. And yes, the colors are not really super accurate, but we don't care. Instead of adding such a gray, sorry, not gray, but such dark brown, I'm using a lighter brown. And also, yeah, try colors here. Maybe you start with this one. I mean, I try to focus first on the composition, but then I try to do different things, like I try to also use different colors and see what happens, then everything like that. It's the time to do whatever we want. Okay, so I want to make sure it's very important to understand what is happening in the mountains, because only like that we can explain with our painting, I think, what's happening, right? And yeah, sometimes we are too straight, and we want it to make it like really perfect and realistic. But I think that's not the point here, at least with my project. That's not what I want to achieve. What I want to achieve is, okay, I want to have a deeper understanding on what's going on the mountains that I'm painting, but also convey this kind of feeling of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? The atmosphere of the painting. So I really like this one. I really like this part. Now doing this example made me understood a bit more this example. because if you can see in the photo, if you have it so small, like in the chat, sorry, so small like in the video, yeah, maybe you're not able to see it very clearly, but there are like lines, and in particular there is one line, two lines, three, four, at least four lines of rocks, let's say. So when I mean line of rock, I mean this part for me is a line of rock, then grass, then another line of rocks, then grass, then another line of rocks, etc. So I think this tells better the story of what's happening there. And now the same color I used for the rocks, which, yeah, honestly, we always think rocks are like kind of brown or gray, but for me the only important thing is that related to this green color here and this green color that is here between, etc., is just a darker green for me, you know? For me it's not really it's not so important if it's a brown or if it's a gray. I just make it um, dark because the value is what is explaining what's happening, not really the color here. Okay, so then here we can have fun with blending different kinds of a darker green because it's on the first plane, the first foreground, let's say, plane. So, okay, this is great. And then here I was trying to not use too much that, and yeah, using the same, or no, it's not the same, but it's quite similar. It's not the same color than here, but really it's similar, honestly. So using this color to make kind of grasses and leaves, etc. So yeah, the problem here is that doing this with watercolor later will be a bit difficult. It's fine, we will be able to do it, but we need to plan accordingly. That's why it's important to know, maybe at the beginning, what are you doing, right? So which option are you going for? Like, are you going for this option with grass, or are you going for a different option without grass, for example? And then this mountain here in the back, the background, I will do it more purple because I think, yeah, blue is okay, but I need more red. I mean, this is a bluish. This color is light ultramarine, okay? But for me, sometimes it reminds me of my lavender in watercolors. So this is my lavender, and you can see they are quite similar. And then for me, it's like a lavender. And the problem here is that the complementary color of green is red. So it's better if I use a purple that is more reddish. That's why I use this violet gray here for the background mountains. Okay, so I will not do again the sky, but you get it. Oh, where is it? Yes, here. Yeah, you get what happens here, right? Like, yeah, the same than before. The sky, honestly, I will not touch a lot. I will do this wet on wet and see what happens. Let it do its own thing, and yeah, like that, something like that. Okay, and this is nice to do like this to make the lines go or point towards the mountain. That's why I make the clouds like this. So okay, that's some point. Let's do a very different one down here. Of course, if you want to ask something, don't hesitate. Okay, now here we are going to go for an option without grasses. Okay. This one is maybe too wonky, so I will try to, yeah, like this. Taking into account, I will do something different, maybe starting the focal point here in the middle instead of the on the that third, and maybe, you know, do a close-up of the mountain. So this means no first plane here, and only we are zooming in this part really. Okay. Okay, so first thing first, the easy parts that I know how to paint, and later the difficult parts that I don't know how to paint yet. So yes, let's do this. Of course, this will be blended later in watercolors. So on the composition tips, I added, let me think what I added. I added the rule of thirds. I added the focal points. And what else did I add? Sometimes I need to remind myself of this. So I use the guide I created as well. Yeah, I added the horizon line. That's the first thing. Yeah, here the horizon line for us would be here, or here when we set it up here, or here we don't really have horizon line because for me it's like behind the mountain. And then we set the rule of thirds, the focal point, and the triangular composition. Yes, yes, the triangular composition is mainly to place things on a triangle. And yeah, mountains are really, really easy for this composition. So, okay, here I'm doing this, and again, let's try to understand what's happening there. Let's try to understand what's happening here. Here we have, and at the end you see here I did more accurately the shape of the mountain, and here I didn't do it as well, so I will rectify that. Okay, for me that's happening, rocks, 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 then smaller rocks, and in between we have green grass. Here is not as green, but yeah, we will try to check later. Then more kind of green, and then here rocks, and here and there, like here some, da, 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 and then here really is like rocks, 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 rocks. And then yeah, like here this view is allowing us to understand even more what's going on in the mountain and the different planes. That's why I'm doing this different kind of lines here, even in the grass parts, like to say, okay, this plane is going like this, so I'm doing some lines like this. And then emphasize the green parts. And then this is like the break, this breakdown. There's like a shallow cave there or something like that. Then more. Honestly, this line goes like very straight. Here it has some kind of like that, but yeah. And it looks like it doubles the size, right? Like it's even double the size than here. The rocks, I mean, they are double the size here, more or less. And then, yeah, like that. And yeah, for me, I'm already noticing this is too detailed for this mountain. I mean, I think we will get to this kind of detail maybe when we paint mountains like rocky ones with the snow and everything there. I see, yeah, I see this happening. But this landscape, I loved it because of the mood of the whole environment, you know, not because I want to do a really specific close up of the mountain. It's really because I like the mood of the gray sky, the green. I mean, when autumn is here, I love the contrast between the colors of the trees and yeah, the moody greens with the sky that is gray. So I think that's what I like from this mountain. So this one, okay, very nice, very interesting to learn about it. It was nice to learn about what's happening more in the mountain, but no, we don't care. I mean, I will not choose this one, even if I like the how it turned out. No, it's not the case. It's not what I will choose. So now that there is only one left, I try to go more into detail, okay? So what do I mean by that is that I try to say, okay, from these three different images I tried, what do I want to go for? You know, like which one is convincing me more of these three? And for now, I would say it's this one. This one is the one that I like the most. So I think I will go for this one. But is there anything I want to change? So this is the chosen one. But what could I change? What could I change? What could I change here? Why I ask myself that is because I have one rectangle left and I want to try this mountain in a different way or changing that small bit that is making me doubt, you know? And in this case, the small bit that is making me doubt is here there is a prominence of the mountain. Here there is a prominence of the mountain, and then this part is more empty, which is fine because we will fill it in with this. But yeah, I'm thinking, what if I go here, like instead of doing this so high up, why don't I go like this and do the high part here? So you see, there's like a kind of movement through the painting. And then this side is less heavy, right? Let's try giving more prominence to this part here and then going a bit more down here and see what happens. Okay, so first the horizon line for me is here more or less. Let's do it like this. I will do this part first. So as agreed, as I told you, I will give more prominence here. I will reserve some small part for the grasses. I didn't put any music today. I don't know why. Anyway, maybe it will be confusing to hear myself while music is there. Ah, shoot, but anyway, yes, we have the copyright later. The copyright music later. So Yeah, it's weird to start here, I know, but I just want to do it now because I will forget later. Um, it's weird to do grasses like this. I mean, you can do something more sophisticated. These are my grasses. I like them. I think they are cute. They are simple, yes. But you can do more like planty things, you know, like this thing, like this, and then like in the photo mainly, this thing. I don't know, different ways painting plants. I mean, for sure, this is the first plane. We will give detail later. But this is just a thumbnail, so I don't want to spend time there. Now let's go for the mountain. So again, I want to have more or less here the focal point. So let's do it like this. Yes, something like that, maybe. You see here I have a lot of more of space. This goes there, and then yeah, I mean this should not be only this color, but I want it to be and to make sure that this is a darker color than what I put here. That's why I try to do the contrast. Also, the you see the grasses will stand out more if this is darker, and the mountain will stand out more as well. So again, let's start with the things we know. We will see later the things we don't know how to paint. Do you find these color pencil like explorations? Do you find them fun? Do you like them? What do you think? Because I always think they are super fun. But also I find sometimes resistance to do them. If I'm not doing this, what I would do is here, oops, what I did already, like a really small sketch here to see the composition a bit, and that's all. Yeah, but this I have to repeat it anyway, and you know I put the mountains higher, etc. So okay. Also, we are getting familiar with this subject as we go. Each time we paint the subject, we are getting more familiar with it. And I appreciate that, honestly. I appreciate that because I think it's not so easy, especially mountains are not easy at all. As you can see, every time there is a patch of grass on the mountain, then there's like a rock, then patch of grass, then rock, something like that. And of course, you can do them whatever, however, and whatever you want. I mean, like, I think here I didn't manage to communicate very well this break on the mountain, but that's fine. Yeah, try different things. Try different things. Also, I'm getting a bit tired of trying things, so I will stop trying things soon and go for the painting already. I've noticed that here there is this tip. This part is more like like brown, and then here I see some brown parts as well. Make sure to make the lines on the direction this follows, right? Because this gives shape to the mountain as well. Okay, let's say something like that. Of course, there are many nuances, and yeah, this part is darker. I mean, later we will pay attention to all those things. Like if there is a break here, all this part is darker, this part is on top, and then this part should be a bit more muted. If we think the sun is somewhere on top, it's true that the day is quite gray, but we will do all that later, okay? So let's add our sky just to have the effect, to see the effect this will do in the painting. And we will be ready to paint. Okay, more or less, yep. Yeah. I like it, but do I like this one more than this one, or do I still like this one? Because here this side I find it a bit complex to fill it in. This is like a white space there, and I don't understand. And the problem is that in the photo I don't see what's going on there, I think. Well, it's not that I don't see that what's going on there, it's that there's nothing going on there. Maybe we can just give it the sense of a plane going down with some lines like this. Yeah, there are some parts where we have like this gray little stones that come from the mountain, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if I give it here more detail to this part, if I give detail to this part, then it makes sense to me, like now. You see, more color. Like, I don't want it to be just a plain green thing, because it doesn't give any interest. But if there are different colors, like gray, then another green, this kind of things, like something is happening there, then yes, it's fine. So what do you think? Do you have one favorite? I'm not 100% sure yet, huh? I'm still wondering if this or this one. I think I like this one, but I think I want to try this one with watercolors. The problem I see here is that here is the focal point, one of the focal points, because it's the intersection of the lines for the rule of thirds, and here there is nothing happening. That's why I'm wondering if that's why I like it more here, you know? Let's try to do this just to see. Yeah, I like it more a bit covered. Maybe not so covered than here, not so covered, but a little bit more covered. Yeah, let's try a mix of these two. So let's put away the pencils. I've used so many. Okay. You can take now, if you want, some minutes to go for some water, go to the toilet, etc. I will stay here for a couple of minutes organizing my pencils and taking out the watercolor supplies. So, I mean, I have most of the watercolor supplies here, but it's a nice moment to maybe go if you need it. I'm going to bring some water because I didn't remember to bring water before and I'm so thirsty. So if you want to do the same, I encourage you to do the same and we can come back. I don't know which order this had or anything. I think this one was here and this one was here. Okay, more or less, more or less, more or less. Good, let's zoom out. A second, I'm zooming out or am I zooming in? Yes, okay, cool, cool, cool. So let me go for a bottle of water. I know it's here. Yes, it's here. I was lucky I had it here. So how are you doing? Yuli says, I'm not a fan doing those little sketches, but watching you doing it, it's so instructive. I love watching you. Thank you, Yuli. Thank you very much. I've noticed is really helpful for me to do these sketches. But it's true that at the beginning, I just wanted to jump into the painting and I thought they were a bit of a waste of time. You know what I mean? So don't worry if you don't like them. That's fine too. Um, you can just jump into the painting without sketching them first. And now I have here my watercolor sketchbook. Let's open a new page and I will paint it here. So what I want to do now is to tape a bit my paper because it adds a nice wide space to your painting. And I don't know, for me it looks like more well thought, you know, more, I don't know. It has nothing to do with how beautiful is your painting, but I really like the white space around. So let's try here. And don't worry, we'll be using this side of the paper as well. It's just that here I want to use it to paint another of these. And here we will do maybe some color swatches and the painting here. I will make sure I have everything in like focused correctly before starting the painting. Don't worry. Now I know I'm moving this a bit too far away for you to see it. But as long as I finish putting the masking tape, I will check if the camera is centered and everything. Okay. Okay. So, ta-da-dam here, ta-da-dam here. Cool. I will have better lighting next time. I know this is not super great lighting, but I have to work with what I have for now. But I have a big lamp to really, yeah, have like a lot of light on my space, but it's on the basement still. There are things we didn't unpack yet, so I need to take it from there. Okay, I'm so nervous. I'm always nervous when I pass into the watercolor. So as you can see, I don't have my palette clean, but it's not a problem because we use similar colors of what we have already here. We will see maybe clean some smaller part. I have my paper here as well. I have paper towel and I have a towel as well, and then my water here. So this paper is a bit more tricky. I mean, this is a more panoramic paper than what I showed you before. So this means that maybe you will see I will take more part of that right side of the mountain. Okay, so it's because how this paper, the format of this paper, this big landscape, this is a B5 sketchbook. So, okay, let's find, it's possible that you don't see these lines very much, but just take your paper, the paper where you will do your painting, and just find the rule of thirds. Divide your paper in thirds, more or less. Mine are pretty much more or less. I mean, if there's one line that goes very far away, maybe you can just remove it, erase it, and add another one, but yeah, it's really something very approx. I feel I don't know how to talk while I draw or paint, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, this is my more or less my horizon line. I always want to start with the horizon line. Although the horizon line we have seen that now is um, yeah, it's on a place where sometimes we don't see it, okay? But even if your horizon line is behind the subject of your painting, it's useful to know where it is, okay? So, okay, let's draw the mountain. Let me open it big here on my computer. Here. And again, this is not meant to be like a copy of the painting, a copy of the photo. The photo is there just to inspire us, and then we can do whatever we want. So it's the first time I try this YouTube um, live streams, and I don't know, I thought maybe it could be fun to try more of these here. I used to do them on Twitch, but I know many people don't know about Twitch, or yeah, they just don't know how that works. So I thought YouTube is more universal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a millennial and I don't know how to use Twitch and other people does, but yeah. I thought let's try it. And also I follow some other artists on Twitch and here, and I love the live streams from Monkey Mintaka. I don't know if you know her. I think her name is April. I found her not long ago on Instagram, and I've been loving her live sessions on YouTube. She makes really beautiful mixed media art, and yeah, she's quite amazing. I love how she approaches any subject, like really without fear, trying things out, etc. It's really inspiring to have here the community. Sorry, I'm a bit I'm just a bit focused on this. Yeah, the problem of, you see, the problem of having this paper so panoramic and then this not as panoramic is that, yeah, now I'm struggling a bit to place my mountain, but do not worry. No, this needs to be go much more down. I think I need to do the mountain a bit up. It will be better with the proportions I'm drawing. And honestly, this is just trial and error and see if you like it or if you don't. See what you don't like, change it, etc. When I started painting, I hated draw. I hated drawing. I thought, oh, I only want to take a pencil, like a brush. I don't want to take a pencil or do anything with a pencil. So it was very hard for me to draw. Does this happen to you? I mean, now, okay, I tolerate it. It's not that I love it. I tolerate it. So, but I still don't love it. Eh? Don't love it. Okay. Okay, good. You see here, this part is a bit more empty. That's why here I want to add some of these mountains I see. Maybe your painting doesn't have this many mountains, but that's fine. And Julie says, are you using a water-soluble pen? Nope, I'm not. And what I do is before I paint, I erase my lines. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people using a water-soluble paint. And my question for you is, do you use it, Julie? Do you use these water-soluble pencils or not? Have you tried that? Because I was really curious to know about that, if that works or not. I have, 1 second, let me show you. Here, I have this thing. This is a Holbein Pro Color 2 pen. 1 second. Yeah, it's this kind of fine liner, and this is water soluble. So when you paint with this and I apply water, you will see it disappears. And I tried it. However, I think sometimes the blue part, because the pencil is blue, so you will see it, the blue part is still there. You can still see the blue side, the blue line sometimes. So that's why I didn't use it anymore. But um, But yeah. I tried this and it was very interesting to see, like, because it's really like a fine liner, like it's really a pen and then it disappears with water. So it was really interesting. I'm just creating more space here. The grass will be slower and then here will go a bit up because I want to give the illusion that this part of the mountain comes through here to here. Perfect. So this is like a circle. And then here, I'm not sure how to make my mountain yet. Because I expected this to have more prominence. Yeah. Okay. I think I will do this. I'll start even more here, the mountain. I'll start the mountain more here even. Yeah, I'm taking a long time with this sketch today. But you know, until I'm convinced I don't want to commit to one sketch, I don't know. I prefer to not commit until I have one sketch I love. So yeah, here I'm quite happy already. So here I'm quite happy already. Here we will have this, but no, I think this mountain I don't like because it has a very similar shape than before. So what I will do is I will do this just small mountain here. Yeah, something like that. That's all. Congratulations, Afri, you finished your sketch. Okay, now I'll try to find a kneadable eraser. If I don't have it, I just use my normal regular eraser to erase everything. I just try to not, erase like every line. I just erase some of the lines. I'm not sure yet if I like kneaded erasers. People say all the oil from the hands goes to your paper when you do this, which is not good. Other people say it's the best thing because you can still see the drawing without erasing too much. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm doing this on the contour of the mountain, the shape of the mountain, more or less. And then what I will do is with my regular eraser, I will erase the rule of thirds, and that's really important, especially in the parts where we have the sky, because the sky is not dark, and then it's possible that we will not cover it with paint, right? So the sky and the grass, I will erase the, okay, and then I have just a few lines like that, and we're ready to paint. Great, great, great. Okay, so perfect. Let's start with the sky. I will take my round 4 brush. I love this brush. But now I'm wondering, this is too small. So I will take my round 8, I think. Where is it? I'm talking about the graphite paint. I want one water soluble. I find it. Oh, okay. So, it's a graphite one, but then it's water soluble. Okay, I didn't know about that. I didn't know they exist. I only have water soluble, but like color pencils, you know what I mean? So I didn't even know graphite pen could be water soluble, but now I'm very curious about it. So I will ask you later, maybe I can check it out if you have a specific brand that you like. But you know, I have this museum aquarelle, for example. I have some of these, not a lot, but these are water soluble, but they are like watercolor color pencils. They are not graphite. So I'm very interested to know about those. Please, if you can send me, I don't know, a brand or something I could check out, it will be awesome. Okay, I don't find my bigger pencil. I was using it just before our stream, so okay, whatever. No worries, I can use another one. I don't want to use another one because this is the one I love to use and I use all the time, but okay, no problem. I'm used to the point and everything, but that's fine. Okay, so I will just wet the entire sky like this. And if I don't see where the water is, I'll just tilt my paper until I see the reflect of the light on the water. Ah, and by the way, I will go over this background mountain as well. The background mountain can be done already with the background. So you maybe don't see anything yet, but you will. And don't worry if you go over a bit of the mountain because who cares? And also we are making a very faint sky. At least I will not add a lot of color to the sky. I want it to be soft. Okay, so my sky is wet. I will add just a little bit more of water here because I see the paper is thirsty and I want to make a very nice wet on wet technique. So yes, if you remember, wet on wet is when you apply wet paint over wet paper. So we have already the wet paper. Now let's take the wet paint. There's like a small hair there on the point which is going at the wrong. Oh my god, it's really bothering me. Okay, whatever. I will create my mix here. I will take this blue. This is cobalt blue usually, and probably it has a bit of uh, phthalo turquoise. Yeah, I think so. Then here, okay, a bit of this with um, beryllium maroon because I'm going to create my favorite gray. And as I told you before, I want the sky to be a little bit purple. Okay, a little bit purple on the red side. So not a bit purple on the blue side, but really on the red side. Then I need to add more perylene maroon to add this. Okay, and now what I will do is I will really touch the paper as such. I will touch the paper. It's quite diluted, my water. Maybe you're thinking, oh, Humphrey, this looks super dark. Believe me, it's not super dark. You will see how this lightens up later. And then what I will do apart from that is here more on the horizon line I will do more of this. Yeah, I'm doing this like line, more vertical clouds. And I love what's happening there already, you see it? And then I will add a bit more power to the clouds before it really dries. And by the way, I'm going a bit, yes, I think you can see this a bit better, right? I mean, right now everything is quite bright, so maybe that's why you don't see it a lot, but I promise you will see it in a minute. And yeah, what these clouds are missing are really a bit of more pigment here and there. So what you want to do here is not add a lot of water, but really add pigment. And I think I didn't tell you what's my favorite gray, my favorite neutral tone, and this is either neutral tint or this mix of um, Pyrilene maroon and cobalt blue and burnt sienna. So okay, I like how it looks now. I like how it looks like right now. Focus. Okay, I like how it looks like right now. It looks quite dark. Don't worry, it will lighten up once it's dry. So I will not touch a lot. I will maybe here and there make some white lines because I had some of them like with the brush a bit damp. Sorry, my explanations today are a bit weird. With the damp brush, you can really remove the paint that is already here. Okay, I leave it like this. I don't want to touch it anymore, and we'll see later how it goes. Okay. And then it's good that this, here I don't add anything darker because I already have the kind of sky I wanted to have. This is like clouds that are farther away and these are clouds that are closer. And you will see that it starts separating probably the colors. That's fine as well. And yeah, I wanted to add this mountain, but I will add it at the end to see which color I should use there. Okay? Okay. So, what's the plan here? This is the foreground. If you remember, the foreground was lighter than the middle ground. Let's see, this is the foreground, these are the grasses, this is the mountain still, and this is lighter than this part. So what I will do is, I'm not sure if I should risk it, but lately I want to use the masking fluid because I've always had it and never really took advantage of it. You probably saw my disaster story with this painting, with this one, where the masking fluid didn't remove completely, but yeah, I'm going to risk it anyway. Or maybe we do it with gouache later. I don't know. What do you think? Should we use gouache and do it with gouache, or should we really use masking fluid? I think we will use both, honestly. We will use both. Okay. So I'm taking one of the papers. Okay. I'm not sure. Let me take one of the papers here. Try the masking fluid pen beforehand. Okay. So, do you use masking fluid? Did you ever use it? Oops. I think that used the correct way, it's very helpful. But I also think we shouldn't overuse it. So yeah, I will try because that's why I'm doing this project anyway. To try different things. So for example, I will try this. I don't want all of them to be like all the grasses to be represented or anything. It's just some small ones can be here. And especially not everywhere, but really in the part where they cross with that line. We are here to learn and to risk it. If not, what? You know, I'm probably regretting this later. Remind me of this moment in which I decided to use this thing. Okay, let's see what happens. Now that we have done this part, we can pass to this part. So let's let it dry. And now here I will cover the whole mountain because my sky is already dry. If your sky is not dry, I would recommend to wait a bit, but yeah, I think it should be fine already. And then just this part, not the top side of the mountain. I'm just wetting this part. I also want to do some nice wet and wet effects. So we will see. Oh my god, I already regretting the masking fluid part. I'm already regretting it, honestly. No fear. Come on. No fear. Okay. By the way, I shouldn't buy 8 because I have another thing. I overbooked this slot at 8. That's why I had to change the live session. I'm sorry if I'm in the middle. It's really difficult to see the paper wet. So, okay, good. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking my favorite green, which is sap green, which I don't have a lot of here, but that's fine. And here is a tip. Here's a tip I learned recently, and it's that to make your greens more relatable, more realistic, just always add a bit of red. Doesn't matter if it's pinkish red or reddish red, more pyrrole scarlet or quinacridone magenta, doesn't matter. There's one hair here that is okay, making my life miserable. Okay, so yes, add a touch of that red to the mix. And I will add a touch of green. I'm not sure if using this middle green, no. I want to use a bit of yellow, lemon yellow green. I want to make it more vibrant. So that's good. Now, I will just paint patches of grass here and there, here and there. This is just the base, so don't worry. Don't be afraid. Paint the base here and there. We will leave some white spaces because I want to come with yellow ochre, I think. Yes, I want to come with yellow ochre for those kind of brownish parts. So yeah, this is a really first wash, you know what I mean? Really low pressure first wash. Yeah, adding some green here and there more. Okay, now this is the most difficult part. This part we will add a darker green, I would say. So let's do a darker green. Well, yeah, more muted as well. I will add more. As you're seeing, I'm adding more of red. It's darker, but it's not crazy dark either. Okay. And now here, this is where we need to be a bit more careful. I will create again this mix, the lighter mix with yellow, lemon yellow, a bit of red but not much, and green. Oh my god, space. I need a space. Yes, I'm a mess mixing colors because I always reuse the color I had before. That means I'm not really taking advantage of it. Okay, I prefer to add here in the this first layer. I prefer to add the green everywhere like this because we always have time to add the brown later, the brown of the rocks, and that's what we are doing now. So now I will take that more reddish tone, and now while this is still wet, I make sure that, for example, the contour of the mountain has this color. Why? Because I see everywhere in the contour of the mountain rocks. So this makes perfectly sense. Just be careful here. I have a part that should be dry and that is later green. So make sure to not cover that. So yeah, I'm doing with this, sorry. Okay. Apart from adding here the shadow, we can go a bit more down here. I mean, just check the photo and see more or less where you see darker parts for the rocks. This is the same exercise we did before, if you remember. These are some rocks, these are some rocks, etc. So the same here, these are more rocks. And let's add rocks here, also some here in between, more smaller ones. And then here, smaller ones as well. And I forgot to add the crack in the mountain, so I will add it now while this is still wet. By the way, I'm not sure how my camera is handling that I'm passing my arm in front of it all the time. Is it bothering the stream? So the crack would be here, as you can see now. I really want to fix that small peak here being overwhelmed by. Okay, I'm taking a stiff brush. I'm opening there. Yeah, it's not that I'm painting. I'm opening this peak. You see? It was like a kind of triangular shape there. So I'm doing this. Now I'm taking a piece of paper towel. I'm trying that part. Okay, yeah, perfect. Then if you see it needs more definition, I can do this. And yeah, as long as this is wet, you can add more of these little rocks. Of course, don't think they will only have this definition, okay? They will have for sure more definition a bit later. There's also a big crack here. So just adding a bit more of red to my green. You can see I do a darker mix. Oops, this is too dark. It's not only that this is too dark, it's also that it's too dark regarding the. Okay, so I will not touch it anymore. This part is fine. This part we will come to it later because I think it's already dry. Yes, we'll come to it later. We will probably again cover everything. And what else can we do? Yeah, this part I want to do it later. But you see, I went a bit overboard there, but that's fine. How are you doing? Are you still painting with me? Did you already paint yours? Maybe I'm being a bit slow painting today. I'm taking it easy. And I found my brush. I'm taking it very easy today. If you can tell. Okay, let's do a zoom out. Let's zoom out. Nope, out. Ta-da! This is the result so far. Yeah, this light is not helping you see it. I know it looks like nothing right now, but it will look like something, I promise. Okay, so I'm thinking if I should do this dark part now. I think yes, I think now we can take advantage of the green that we mixed before. So again, I'm using Perylene Maroon and Sap Green. You can use a touch of my favorite blue, which is Indantron Blue or PV60. And then I will just give a nice smooth layer here. Remember, this part is a bit darker, and as you can see, I'm doing it in a different shade of green, so this is really on purpose. I need to be careful with my red because it's really, really potent. It's really powering red. So yeah, here you can see this tone is less, it's not as moody, let's say, than the other one. So the one that I'm using in the mountain is less moody, it's more greenish, less olive green, let's say, and then let's join it with just regular plain green here. I just wanted to join wet on wet, to join both worlds, wet on wet, and then we will do the grass later on top. And I'm running out of sap green. Maybe I should take the tube and fill it in again. Yeah, make sure you cover everything. And yeah, I'm using more vibrant greens here on this side of the mountain here. It's more vibrant, there is more muted colors, muted green, etc. Okay, let's see. I learned that you should never dry your masking fluid with hair dryer because it can melt into your paper. I never tried it honestly, but yeah, maybe it's true. Have you tried it sometime? Okay, once this is done, I can. Oops, sorry, maybe you didn't see it. Lash greens. Okay, so maybe let's paint that part as well. Honestly, I like to fill in the blank spots before I continue with the detail. So that's just a preference. You do what you want. But yeah, I was thinking more or less on the same terms. We fill in the green on top of the mountain, which is this green here. Oops, there is some water there. Okay. And I'm using a very light green because I want a lot of contrast between, yeah, I knew this would happen, between the top part of the mountain and this part of the mountain. So that's why I'm using a very, very light green right now. Okay. And just to add a few nuances, I will add a darker green, like just, this had lemon yellow, but this one, it's just sap green. Okay. Okay, 1 second because it's getting out of hand. I'm talking about this part of the paper. It was a bit wet. because I dropped some water there unintentionally with the brush. But okay, now it's fine. Yeah, so to avoid have this like so bright green, I'm adding a bit more of sap green on the corners while this is still wet. I think it gives a nice touch. To have some kind of degradé, like how it's called degradé. Mm, gradient, gradient. I don't know how to talk in English anymore. Yeah, and also it's okay if some parts are darker here and then lighter there and then darker here, because you know this kind of clouds are the clouds that you don't know what's going on, like where is the sun really, and maybe the cloud is really showing the sun on this part, but then on this part it's darker. You see what I mean? So that's fine. It's completely understandable. And then it's time to tackle this part again. And if you remember here, what we did is as soon as the stones are over, we just make the movement of where the colors are, you know, like how the mountain goes. Like the lines are showing how the shape of the mountain is. That's why if I do a straight line, you would think, yeah, there is like a slope there. But if I do this curved line, you would think, okay, the mountain goes like this, right? So makes sense. Okay, so let's take a bit more water. I will again wet this part because I don't want the lines to be too harsh yet. I want them to be really soft, and yeah, they're far away, so we don't need so many details and things. The mountain is far away. We shouldn't have so many things, although for us it's the mountain is the really the focal point, so it's important to notice that. It's important to notice and to know that the focal point is the part where you should have most of the details in your painting. You see, I'm just mixing yellow ochre and some of the sap green, and I'm doing this kind of brush strokes. I show how the shadows go in the mountain, and I'm doing this in this kind of um, brownish, but then I do the same in more green, more greenish, like greener side. And remember to take from time to time some of the red to mix it with your green. I know it sounds very weird to mix red and green, but believe me, it works. And you see, we are defining how the mountain moves down. And I'll add a bit more of those things here, those lines here. Here I'm even adding this kind of more sumptuous way like this. because I see that's happening also here. The layer here, this patch of grass, this part I've seen is more brown, so I will use the yellow ochre to do that. And as you can see, we have a very big, a very bright or green below, but it doesn't show up. Doesn't show up really, because it was so diluted that. And then here on the part of the mountain which is down, more down, you can see in the photo the colors are darker, are more kind of brownish tones. So yeah, follow that. Just follow what the mountain is telling you in the photo, which is not evident at all. So don't worry. It's difficult for a lot of people, not only you. This one I did it too. And then I wanted to add a bit of my purple gray as well. Try that it's not super diluted. I tell you why I don't want you to use it very diluted, because this make sure to leave some highlights somewhere. And yeah, I don't want you to use it very diluted, because this layer is already starting to dry. So if you add a lot of water like I did there, then it will make some cauliflowers, some blooms at the end. That's fine, huh? It doesn't, nobody says cauliflowers are not interesting, they are. But just make sure that if you make them, it's because you want, not because you don't want to. Okay, that's nice. Now let me continue on this part of the mountain. I want to bring back a bit of the green, so I will go over this part now. Gently, don't press too much, or you'll take the color that is under this layer. Also, don't take that much water than before. Take much less. And then let's do it again. Let's take green. Let's take a bit of this perylene maroon, or another red that you have that you want to try. Don't be afraid. Just gently touch. Where you want it to be more green. For me, that's fine. You see it's much darker here, but now we will add the dark. Don't worry, there's always time to add dark, but it's more difficult to take the lights. To retrieve the lights is always more difficult than to make it darker, so try to be careful with that. I don't always manage, but I try. Okay, so I think that's pretty nice. I think that's pretty nice, honestly. What do you think so far? Do you like it? I'm not sure if we should give more definition. I mean, I think yes, but I'm also afraid of ruining it. So, and now here I see, I think I will put a bit more blue in this. I can already see it. But I need a bit blue, a little bit of bluish gray there. Instead of so purple as the moon, as the clouds, I will make something more bluish. So let me already do that because I don't like really the white spaces when I paint. I like to have everything fill in, except for the, of course, the spaces that I want to be. Oh, you're not seeing this part. Sorry, so sorry. How about now? I was saying that let's fill in this part. I'm too into the drawing at this point. I didn't notice you couldn't see it, sorry. So I'm creating this kind of purplish, but now more to the blue tone than to the purple tone. And honestly here you shouldn't be afraid of using it as it comes out of the tube because I have so much water. That's fine. That it will anyway dry later. Now remember, if you have gone so too far away with the blue, then dab your paper with a bit of paper towel and go back again. And because I want to make that line really clear, okay, we will fix this line a bit later. Okay, now what else? What else? What else? I want to give more darkness to this part. Not darkness, but variety. Let's add variety to this part. And to do that, let me create a green that is not so dull and add here some patterns. Do here some patterns of the lights and shadows you see in the photo with a different kind of green. And we don't care a bit about this part so much because we have the other part, this part, which is more important. So we don't want to grab the attention here, we want to still keep the attention here. Now with this super mega fine liner, it's a filbert brush or silver white, I'm going to add the details, the lines that are crossing, the details, more the rocks, etc. So how I'm going to do this? These lines are going to be more precise, but I still will add this color, but in a darker, well, not darker, but less diluted version. So this means we are doing less diluted version. And by the way, I need to go. So this is maybe the last thing I'm going to do in the painting, and I will show you later the result because I have another thing now at 8. So I will just make sure this is understood. I will make the I'm basically giving more definition to the mountain, as you can see. Doesn't need to be something crazy and something super detailed, but just giving more definition on a different less diluted color helps a lot. And of course, just be careful because, okay, we want more definition, but that doesn't mean we need to put black next to white, okay? What does this mean? Doesn't mean that it needs to be like the less, like paint out of the tube. No, no, no. It doesn't mean that. It means it needs to be less diluted, but it doesn't mean it needs to be pitch dark or really, really, really dark. It needs to be darker than the layer we have done before. Okay, darker. Darker doesn't mean like pitch black, you know? And also we will, apart from this rocks, I'm adding first the rocks because they are the most, like the easiest part to continue with. But then now you will see what I will continue doing. Yeah, so maybe here. So, how are you doing? I don't know if you can see how many people is in the live session or not. Oh my god, 1 hour 50. This is being a bit long than I expected. So, we will try to speed up. Sorry. So yes, I continue doing the same thing. Okay. Then from doing that, we need to start doing our lines. Yeah, because you see, we have lots of structure below the rocks. We have a lot of structure, a lot of lines that support those rocks. Can you see them or not? Try to always make the lines you want to show, like the shape of the mountain. It's true that here is much darker because we have this like crack in the mountain. Then notice how the silhouette of the mountain is very, very, very defined, at least in this part. This part is fine. It's a bit less defined, but on this part it's really, really defined. So yes, I think I will end here because I don't want to rush the finish of the painting. So I think I will end here. Thank you very much for being here with me almost 2 hours. I will make sure I show you the result later. And yeah, at least we advanced a lot and we painted a lot today. Honestly, this was such a good time. Really enjoyed doing this live session. I'm happy to have found a way to do it with YouTube. And yeah, I think I will stop more or less here. I'm just giving more emphasis to the green that is on top of the rocks. And if you don't have rocks, just make sure to use the brush and make the brush strokes showing the shape of the mountain you want to show. And also making sure there are a lot of different nuances like darker greens, lighter greens, you see. Everything. You don't need to do all the details there, okay? It's just you need to make look like you did the details, but you don't need to do them all. I know it's really challenging to do that, but you can do it. Okay, if you see this is too strong, I think this is too strong, I just, with a thumb brush, I just make it less strong. But then I keep adding a bit more definition here and there. And I see there are some parts that are greener than others, so I'm sure to emphasize those greener parts. Yeah, I don't want to overwork it. I think I'm starting to overwork it, so I will stop sooner than later. I know I keep saying that, but I will truly stop sooner than later. So yeah, for me that's fine. I will stop here. I will then, the next step for me would be to paint these grasses, little plants, etc. Crossing fingers so the masking fluid removes accordingly. It looks like it's removing quite well right now, and I don't want to leave it there for too long. That's why I'm doing it already. Like, yeah, make sure you don't leave it there for days because then maybe it will be more difficult or even impossible to remove it. So I really don't advise you to leave it there overnight, especially. Okay, you don't see it. Uh, Sorry. Okay. Be careful with removing the masking tape. Okay, so I'll finish it up. I will just add a few small details here on the foreground, not a lot because I want really the details to be on the mountain so people see it. So yeah, I will do that. I will share it with you in the community. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you had fun. I hope you had some interesting learnings today. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you, Julie. Bye bye.